Alright, what's up everyone? I have just a brief point to make. I stumbled upon this point after listening or watching a few videos or reviews, and this phrase continually popped up in these reviews where they referenced problematic content, essentially meaning they were triggered by something or the way that the subject was handled made them uncomfortable. And I saw this in different ways. Sometimes it's the subject itself, sometimes it's the way the subject is handled. It bothers me because the reason people burn books and ban books are because the ideas within them are wrong fundamentally, that they're harmful to the human who reads them. Whether or not that's true isn't what I'm arguing. I'm arguing that there's value in the work being as dangerous as it is. Nick Cannon recently, if you're on Twitter or anywhere, you know what happened. He started talking some weird black supremacist stuff with Professor Griff, shocker. Nick Cannon and how he screwed this up by unintentionally mirroring sentiment of pre-World War II Germany is the very reason why I think it's important that we extract value from every work that we deem dangerous. So Nick Cannon was talking on his podcast or whatever it is to Professor Griff when he was all talking that white people are savages, the real savages.
The true savages.
Fine, this is a silly thing to say because everyone's a savage, but if you want to boil it down to who has the most melanin or not and play that game, let the irony begin, I say. And Nick Cannon continues on saying,
The Semitic people are black people.
Again, whatever. If you care, you care. It's not a big deal. Then he goes and says,
It's banking. The 13 families. The bloodlines that control everything, even outside of America.
Right. That's what got him fired. The idea of Jews secretly running things is what turned Germans, who we all love, into Nazis, who we all hate and want to punch in the face. Because they believe that the Jews stabbed them in the back during the First World War, and the entire country of Germany rallied around, or anyway, the National Socialist Party rallied around that, and that's what turned good, regular Germans into horrible Nazis. I'm using all of those adjectives ironically, I hope you know. Now, did you know that? Did you know that that's how Nazis were made? Because I didn't know that until I heard on Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz's podcast that the Jews tell the story to themselves over and over again, so that when someone starts saying these kind of things, it triggers in their head, oh, I've seen this movie before and it doesn't end well. You see where I'm going with this? Clearly, if Nick Cannon knew what the Jews knew about the language that created Nazis, he would not have been saying that. He would have at least given it a deeper thought than to just say, yeah, that sounds all right. Nothing I can think of is wrong with it. And that's the purpose of problematic materials, so that you're not hurt by it when the problems come into your life, because they're going to come into your life. Now, if you're hurt by it because you're already hurt and you are not ready to heal, then that is what it is. I can't say nothing about it. But if you can try to understand what it's like to be the monster, give it a go. But don't be afraid to see yourself in it. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. This video isn't necessarily about the Nick Cannon incident, but most of, if not the entire Nick Cannon Professor Griff interview is chock full of information that if you didn't listen to it for yourself, you'll be falling for the same trick that the media pulled on Dave Chappelle, Kanye West, and plenty of others that I can't think of off the top of my head. But it's the same game. Please listen to, if not the entire thing, enough to realize that within context, what they were saying was taken kind of to the nth degree. Anyway, whatever, yo. Just do like Rick said.
Think for yourselves. Don't be sheep.
It's easier to accept that than to accept a work like the Turner Diaries. and try to find value out of that. You might, even when I said it, have gone, oh, why would you even? And there's a reason why I would say the Turner Diaries is an important book. So if you don't read it, at least understand it. It's because there's a code that people speak to each other. I don't know it, I haven't read it yet, but I want to learn it because I want to be able to hear racism when it's being spoken. And if I don't know the code, then I'll never understand. Think about like 90s hip hop and how in the 90s East Coast hip hop there was a bunch of people talking about 10%ers and culture ciphers and the daily math. And if you just listen to it, you know, like a casual, you'll say, yeah, culture cipher, daily math, that sounds so cool. But if you're educated, you'll understand that these are vocabulary terms of the 5% Nation of Islam, which a lot of these people were affiliated with and a part of. It was part of the street culture. So understanding that allows me to listen to Wu-Tang and Gang Starr on a level where I understand where they're coming from. You know what I mean? Not just an outsider looking in, but someone who's actually has a deeper knowledge of what they're trying to get across. And that's on every level with the street stuff. Because on the streets, it's like instincts. You have to be in touch with that animal instinct to really be able to see and read a person. Getting into that level is so key. It's so important. If it bothers you so much in text, I don't know if you'd be able to survive it in person. I don't think you'd be able to survive it in person. So I think it's just important to tackle things that hurt you. I think it's important to go into it. It's the only way to get stronger. I think that's my whole point. We shouldn't forget about the bad ideas because they come up wearing different clothes. You have to be able to suss it out. So that's all I gotta say about that, yo.